tonight. And there goes the final whistle. Dundee United are through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup. A thoroughly deserved achievement. Coming here and beating one of the most expensively acquired teams in Europe within the first half. A steady defensive display, and then from the worst goal in the second half, taking the game to Barcelona. They might have gone into the scored a goal early on in that second half, and Perseverance has got them through. Perseverance ladled liberally with skill and good finishing, and plucked as the dejected Barcelona team go down the tunnel. There are the United Warriors. Eamon, I know you're deeply disappointed you didn't play, but you must be very proud.
My heart's bursting, Archie. A fantastic result. I honestly thought we had the better chances in the second half, with Ian Ferguson and Paul Sturrock having two great chances, and then scoring when we did just killed the game.
And there the United team, as the Barcelona supporters look, I think, bemused and befuddled. The United team goes to their small bunch of supporters, and now the Barcelona crowd are actually being applauded by the Barcelona crowd drifting out. Quite astonishing that in their 74th European tie, there they are, they've stunned the millionaires. They are happy, they're tired, and there is a very proud scoreline, I'm sure to be appreciated back in the Glasgow studio.
Absolutely, Archie. There'll be a few San Miguel sank in Barcelona tonight by these Dundee United fans. The three of us leapt out of our chairs a couple of times, as I'm sure you did at home. Let's go firstly to the man who shared in so many of United's great European performances, Hamish McAlpin. Perhaps the greatest night of all, Hamish.
Tremendous. Unbelievable. There'll be a few San Miguel sunk in the dressing room as well, probably. But unbelievable. I was predicting 1-1. John wasn't too confident, but I'm glad I never had a wee bet with him right now. But I would have settled for one each, but unbelievable.
To go out there and actually win, not only the tie, but to win the match is quite remarkable. John, they did it playing great football, playing much the better football.
Yes, I thought it was a first-class performance from Dundee United, apart from about 10 minutes there in the second half where Barcelona put them under a little bit of pressure, not much. It was a great performance away from home in Europe. And I agree with Eamon Bannon. I think Dundee United had probably the better chances in the whole game. And I'll tell you one thing, if Terry Venables wants to stay at Barcelona, I would sell Lineker and Hughes and buy myself a defence.
They were so disappointing, this was the thing. Well, let's take a look at the three goals we saw tonight. The first of them, obviously, created long faces all round because it came for Barcelona just 5 minutes before the end of a first half, which United really had dominated, and it came from Calderi.
We make it exactly 5 minutes to half time.
So Barcelona 1 goal up, if a little luckily, with Paul Haggerty's header ricocheting and then the shot itself probably taking a deflection. But early in the second half we saw a move which was to prove, I think, a little bit significant, because Paul Sturrock created havoc on the left, and then when the goal finally did come with just 5 minutes to go through Big John Clark, it came from exactly the same position. And all from a man who almost didn't make the side with Paul Hegarty being fit again. We thought that John Clark might not have made the side. But a great goal, a great defender's goal, John, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, a typical goal from a defender coming up for a set piece, Dougie, but the marking by the Barcelona defenders was absolutely diabolical there. I mean, it was the same at Tannadice. The amount of balls that they could play across the face of that goal at Tannadice, the Dundee United players, and there tonight, the defence is terrible. I mean, if an amateur team on a Saturday did that, you would create ructions with the team. I mean, but the basics. How many times tonight did you see Dundee United players getting the ball and running 40 yards before they came to a Barcelona defender? I mean, the basics in the game, I can't understand how they play that way.
Yeah. Hamish, from a goalkeeper's point of view, Archie said he's the most expensive goalkeeper in the world. He didn't look it tonight, did he?
No, I was just saying to John, I think the man at the end of the wall just moved off that wee bit and he went back. You know, I didn't actually think he saw the ball coming across. Actually, when Ian Redford kicked it, I don't think the goalie actually saw the ball. It looked as if he should actually probably come from it, if he'd seen it. But I just said to John at the time, I thought he'd lost sight of the ball being kicked with the defender moving.
And at that point onwards, the goalkeeper's always struggling.
That's right, yep.
Oh, delighted obviously with that goal, because that left Barcelona needing to score 2 in the last 5 minutes, which was never really on. And then, of course, the icing on the cake came with that marvellous final goal. And just look how long we wait here for the cross to get dropped right onto the head of Ian Ferguson.
Tidy keeping possession. And I'm keeping my eye on the watch. Here's Starker's goal. High. Stark. Could he kill it? There's the chip. He might get it. Oh, magnificent. Ferguson scores. And the Barcelona crowd are rising to them and applauding. 2-1 for United on the night. 3-1 in aggregate, and Stark, one of the stars, looking up, skipping, and there, Ian Ferguson, running it in. The man who has taken United right to the front, Paul Stark, setting it up for Ian Ferguson, and United supporters are going.
And Paul Sturrock waited and finally made the cross. He had forever to play that ball, Hamish, didn't he?
That's right. The game was dead anyway, Dougie. I think they knew that. They actually claimed for offside. It looked as if Ian Ferguson might have been offside, but the ball went wide to Paul. He done well, and the goalie committed maybe possibly a wee bit too far. But as I say, the game's finished, and it was just a beautiful wee chip.
Yeah.
One of his better ones, and Fergie just stunk it away. It actually could have been a penalty kick. The number 4, I think it was Manola, had had an elbow at. I think it was Fergie had gone back into the box, but the game was dead. But that just made it tremendous.
Great. Smiles all round. So, United in the draw for the UEFA Cup semi-finals. They reached the European Cup semi-final, remember, 3 years ago. So let's take a look at the rest of tonight's results and see who United might be facing in those semis. Beginning with the UEFA Cup, Barcelona 1, Dundee United 2, as we've seen. United through 3-1. Vitoria Guimarães 2, Borussia Mönchengladbach 2. It's the Germans who go through 5-2 on aggregate. Swarovski Tirol 2, Torino 1, and again it's the Austrians who go into the draw. And finally Inter Milan 1, Gothenburg 1, and it's Gothenburg who go through on away goals. So on to the European Cup. Anderlecht 2, Bayern 2, Bayern through 7-2 in aggregate. Dinamo Kiev 2, Besiktas Istanbul 0, Dinamo Kiev go through 7-0. Real Madrid 2, Red Star 0, 4-0 to Real on aggregate. Brøndby-Bern 1, Porto 1, and it's the Portuguese who go through. And finally in the European Cup Winners' Cup, Vitória Sofia Bulgaria 0, Real Zaragoza 2, 4-0 to the Spaniards. Ajax Amsterdam 3, Malmo 1. Ajax going through 3-2. Torpedo Moscow 3, Bordeaux 2. And the French go through on away goals after a 3-3 aggregate scoreline. And finally, Sion 0, Lokomotiv Leipzig 0. The East Germans go through 2-0 on aggregate. So there we are then. Let's the one English result played tonight, just before we leave you, in the Today League First Division. Liverpool confirming their position at the top of the division, where else 2-1 over Queen's Park Rangers. Our last word then from our two studio guests tonight, John Gregg and Hamish McAlpin. John, that must rate as one of the best results ever by any Scottish side.
Without a doubt, Dougie, I think that's a magnificent result for Dundee United. They thoroughly deserved it. One of the best results any Scottish teams had abroad. And just looking at the teams left in this cup, Dundee United could go the whole way.
Yes, absolutely. There's nothing there that they should be terribly frightened of.
I saw Borussia Mönchengladbach against Rangers, 2 games. Very, very lucky to beat Rangers. United on this form could play any of them. If they can go to Barcelona and get a result, they can play against anybody.
Yes, as Archie said in the commentary, Hamish, that result will reverberate around Europe, and United are got to be among the favourites now.
Well, looking at it, they've played Borussia Mönchengladbach 4 or 5 seasons ago and they beat them. John said they were lucky to beat Rangers. there's nothing to fear now. That's a tremendous psychological boost for United. I think everybody's saying they'll freeze on the night after a Roma affair. It proved that they can do it.
Yeah,
so
now you played that awful afternoon in Rome, and I think we can say now that United perhaps did freeze a little bit. I don't think that'll happen now.
I don't think so, no. That result tonight proves that they've become of age. You know, to go there and win in a stadium like that, they said there was 35,000, it doesn't matter, it's a tremendous stadium. The atmosphere had to be good, didn't matter what it was.
Right.
But the Barcelona team, I don't think they played that well.
Great stuff. Thanks to you both for joining us tonight and sharing in this delightful night for Scottish football. Let's leave you tonight with the happy news that Dundee United are now through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup. That marvellous 2-1 win over the Spanish millionaires of Barcelona. It's a great night for Scotland and for Dundee. From all of us, good night.